Yo, what is up guys? In this video, I'm gonna show you how to hire a closer or a sales rep for your online coaching business so you don't have to keep taking sales calls forever and you can get back to doing the thing you started the business to do, which is coach and make content. Okay, so I hired my first closer when I had my first $50,000 month, okay? I was taking all the sales calls until I hit 50K, and then I realized, dude, I need to get back into doing what I started this business to do and out of doing things that I didn't start the business to do, okay? So in your coaching business, you should be doing content, which is what I'm literally doing right now because I'm not on sales calls. Let me actually pull this up and just show you just in a quick example of why you should have a closer, because here's just one of our team's calendars and he's on calls right now. So right now, as I'm making this video, he's taking a sales call, okay? So you can do more content. I wouldn't be able to make content if I was on sales calls all day, right? So the second thing is coaching, improving your course, opening up slots to do more group calls, opening up slots to do one-to-one coaching, or just getting vision. So these are the three things you should be doing and leading your team, right? So we can all agree, if you want to scale past, 150 or 50K rather, you've got to bring in team members. And one of the most important team members is closers. A lot of people call them closers. Some people call them, sales reps, whatever. We just call them closers. Okay. So you're probably at the point where you're like, okay, Brandon, I need a closer. I'm doing, 30 to 50K a month. And I know to ever get to, 100K months plus, I'm gonna have to have closers, okay? I agree. So how do you hire a closer? There's a couple different ways you can go about this. I'll show you how I do it and have done it. And I'll, even give you a couple other options. Option A is you could get them placed. So, let's say you're a health coach, you're coaching your clients on fitness, whatever, you're doing 50,000 a month, and you're like, Brandon, I'm sick of doing sales calls. I want to get someone on my team, okay? Option A is to have someone placed. Option B is to hire yourself, which is what I recommend in most cases. And here's why and how. So what I practically do is I ask two things. I ask my audience, and then I also ask my clients whenever I'm hiring, okay? So first I go to my audience and clients. And if I can't get the position filled there, then I'll look at potentially getting it placed, or I'll use my network of friends that potentially could place someone. But the reason I ask my audience or clients first is because with closing, there is a big skill set required. However, I more so care about character. Just remember, so closers, right? Inside of our funnels, right? We teach, okay? So we have ads going, top of funnel. We're getting new people in our world, and then they're getting re-hit and retargeted with all of our YouTube videos, all of our other content. So they should be extremely nurtured, and then they get on, and it should be held more so as an enrollment call, right? So if the sales call doesn't take a super high level of skill, there's basically a balance between character of the person versus skill. And I will say this, I'm not saying you can't get someone with high character placed, but from what I've seen, if you could get somebody who's loyal to you, loves your vision, okay, and is hungry to make money, then you can train skill as long as they have a good foundation, right? So point of this is if you're like, hey, I need to hire a closer, you should literally post a job application, Google form, into your pool of clients. And some of the best closers you'll ever get are gonna be former clients because they literally bought the thing that you sell and then got the transformation for themselves. So they're a walking, talking, breathing billboard of the thing they're gonna be closing people on, right? So let's just say, again, you're a health coach and you hire a closer and the person that paid you also lost 50 pounds. Think about how easy those enrollment calls are gonna be whenever the person they're talking to is someone who achieved the result that your prospects are trying to achieve. So that's how I would go about hiring. It's very simple. Make a Google form or job posting and tell your clients about it. Then pick the best 3 to 5. Interview all 3 to 5. Depending on the sales call volume, you could bring on 2 for a 2-week trial. At the end of the 2-week trial, pick the one with the better closing rate. So that's how you can hire. How you can train is you should have, whether it's you currently closing or someone else, 3 to 10 recordings of closed sales calls, and 3 to 10 of people who didn't close, and you give them homework to go and watch all of those videos. After they watch the videos, you go over the framework with them several times, okay? And week 1, you start to give them 50% of your calls, and then you review each call with them. At the end of that week, you just repeat the process, move it to 75, and then within 2 weeks, they should be ramped up and hitting KPI. If not, then you have to ask the question, are they the wrong person? Is their character wrong? Which one is it? Do they not know the product well enough? Whatever. So that's how I would go about how. So the next thing people ask all the time is, when should I hire a closer? I say it this way. I would hire a closer whenever, you have too many calls, right? That's typically a good time. And you can pay them well enough to work more than part-time. So I would say like minimum you would want somebody closing is 20 hours a week, okay? The best thing to do is get someone where they can earn a full-time pay. That's what I typically say is, when should you hire a closer? When you can afford to pay them a full-time wage, and it typically works the best that way. So what that means is pay. I typically tell people to charge or give their closers 10%, and then you can add another 2.5 for people who are like super skilled or as a raise later on. And then if you have a sales manager who oversees your sales reps, you can add in additional 2.5 just of cash collected from the sales team, but we'll talk about that here in a second. So pay-wise, it's just 10% of cash collected, right, on call. So how this works is, if you want someone full-time, you should probably be doing enough for them to make anywhere from like 5 to 10K a month. So that number at 10% is typically you're doing, 50 to 100K a month, right? However, you can bring a closer on because what that means is, if you want them to make 5K, you could be doing 30K a month and then get to 50K month 1 of having a closer, because you can spend more on ads and you can take on more calls. So I am okay with people jumping in early, but I would say their on-track earnings, OTE, should be close to 5 to 10K a month. So if you're at 30K, one good month of having a closer would take you to 50. So with that said, that kind of covers when, that's the pay. And the cool thing about scaling is, really the whole point of this video is, you get back all of your time. So then you can make more content, do more coaching, get more vision, and build a team. I think we all agree, if you had more time, had team members that were also good at selling, and you made more content, you would obviously make more money, and you'd have more vision for different funnels, different mentors you could pay, and so on, right? So with that said, the scaling side is pretty cool, because you can have multiple closers, right? You can also have multiple setters. But yeah, guys, I just want to do a quick breakdown of how to practically free up your time in the closing area so you can get to bigger months and get to $50, $100, $200,000 a month in your coaching business. So if this video helped you and you're like, hey Brandon, I want more calls, I want to hire a closer, I have no idea how to do it, and I don't want to pay for things with time, I don't want to fail, I don't want my closer missing 2 to 5 sales a week that he could have closed, and I don't want to lose money in the process on the ads that I'm running, I just want help doing it. What I want you to do is click the link down below, and we'll show you how we bring on closers in a more intimate setting, how to do it for you, and coach you through the whole process. Or if you're like, yo, Brandon, I want a closer, but I don't even have enough calls yet to get a closer because I can't pay them, for part-time, much less full-time. We can show you how to get more calls as well. So if that's you, go ahead, click the link down below, book in a time to chat with us. We'll talk soon.